Hi guys, it's October 24th, 2012 at 2:49 p.m. Um, it's always amazing to me how synchronicities work, how the laws of magnetics, the laws of attraction works, and sometimes I wonder whether we're calling in certain synchronicities or certain messages or certain confirmations or whatever it is. Which comes first, the chicken or the egg? And something very interesting just happened. And life is always interesting. Every little detail is a constant expansion of the magic that I experience in my field is life. Hope you all experience that same magic. That I hope the whole world gets that same magic. But it was interesting how I felt this desire to do a video on what creates our reality, our thoughts, our emotion, our vision, our speech, our feelings, the whole thing, and how that goes out to create the reality, and how it affects everything else that's within the field. And this was in my heart, on my mind. I was going to do a video. I was getting some lunch, and I read Ron Head's newest channeling saying exactly the same thing. And I wonder, well, was I picking up on him before I read it? Was that just the energy that's in the field that has a message to come out? Which comes first, that chicken or the egg? Well, anyway, Ron pretty much said so much of everything that I was wanting to say. And it's so cool how that happens. We're all who are on certain vibrations having similar messages that we might be just describing with different words, but it's basically the same picture that we're trying to describe. And it's just so neat. What I wanted to say was, each time we have an expansion in consciousness as we're going through our own individual ascension process and we increase our frequency, we are releasing old attachments, negativities, perceptions, our dogmas, and all these things that we had been trained to believe is reality. And we're expanding our being as we go through that process, and we're increasing our frequency in our perceptions travel in every different direction that spherical thinking, nonlinear thinking, that's how it's done. As we do these things, as we're expanding ourselves and we're raising our frequencies, we are affecting every single part of consciousness in this universe and the whole multiverse around us. Many people, and I mentioned this in a video yesterday, I guess it was. I'm so in the now, thinking back to what it was that I was saying yesterday, it doesn't really matter. But I was talking about how we all live within this universe that we share. And on Earth, there are 7 billion people walking around living in their own universe, but within this one universe. And a lot of people don't realize that as the Hubble Space Telescope has been in orbit, it has been used to photograph all the stars and all the other galaxies throughout this whole universe that we think of ourselves as living within. And all the information is being fed into a supercomputer, which on the other hand maps out the universe. With all the documentation they found so far, they feel that there's roughly 100 trillion galaxies within this universe that we live in. 100 trillion. And in each different one of those 100 trillion galaxies, each one of those stars, each one of those galaxies contain about 100 trillion stars. And it is mapped out like the physical body of a human. It is, if you look at it mapped out, it looks like it has 2 arms, a head, a torso, and 2 legs. And if you look at how the galaxies are laid out within that, it looks like the nervous system, the blood system, the organs within a physical being. Now, here's the interesting correlation. That is the galaxy which we each are walking around within as we are experiencing our illusion. You know, everything is fractal. Now, scientists are starting to come to this idea, this realization that in each and every one of our physical beings, there's about 100 trillion cells that make up all the organs, all the muscle tissue, all the bones, all the blood, everything that's within an individual's body. Within each and every one of those cells, there are roughly 90 trillion atoms within that body, like small galaxies that are within the body of each cell, that are within all the organs and all that makes up our physical body. So not only is the same thing on the outside of us in the universe that we're walking around in, thinking that this is the universe that we're living within. As we go through our ascension process and we're going through our transfiguration process, we are not only ascending this universe that we are all, each of the 7 billion people walking on Mother Earth, we're not only ascending that universe that we're walking within, but we're transfiguring and ascending the universe that is within us. And there is a multiverse of 7 billion universes walking around on this planet, just in human form. As we ascend one, we who are ascending and ascending that one, are ascending another, our physical one that we're living within. And that which we do consciously to ascend our universe exterior is ascending our universe interior. Every thought, every intention, everything that we speak, everything that we feel, the whole gamut, the thought, the vision, the speech, the feeling, the whole thing that we have, that we are doing as we are going through our personal ascension process, affects every other universe in creation, all the multiverse. As we go through, as one person goes through their ascension process on this planet, they are affecting 7 billion other universes walking around on this planet in their own ascension process. And in everything, I don't care what little atom on the opposite side of this universe that we're walking within, on the farthest planet within that universe, on the opposite side of that planet, there's a little atom that is connected to me, that is connected to you, that is connected to each and every one of those 7 billion universes walking around on this planet, that when we change ourselves is affecting that atom on the opposite end. Everything that I do is affecting something within the universe of the other soul walking around on this planet. Every single thought, every single action, every single thing that we do affects all that is, affects the collective. I'm going to let this wind blow down for a second and chill. It's interesting, and I wanted to say that too about signs. If you look throughout some of the videos that I've made, a lot of times there are signs. As I speak forward a truth or a higher dimensional concept, you'll hear an eagle screech or a woodpecker peck, or light becoming very vast around me, or you know, something that hits at the moment of that particular thing that I say as a sign of, here up, this is confirmation, it's a synchronicity. That's very interesting that we can look at those signs and synchronicities in our life as the magic that occurs as we speak our truths, as we bring forward higher thoughts and awarenesses. Those confirmations are everywhere. You're never supposed to go follow the signs. You're never supposed to go follow channeled messages, but you use these messages for confirmation. It's just like me having the idea for this video just a little while ago. And okay, and I don't necessarily define the words that I'm going to use, but I do follow a field of energy to have within my field that brings in a picture to my heart that gets transferred to the brain, that the brain deciphers and tries to break down into a picture of words that goes out the throat chakra and gets spoken into the illusion. And it's so interesting to have come to do this video, and having seen Ron Head's posting on the exact same subject. And we are doing this over and over and over. And as we are in that big spiral coming up to the center point of time, the end time, which is nothing more than a funnel, as we are coming up to that small part of the funnel, the Piscean age dying down, and then we're going to expand in the Aquarian age. In that funnel, that smallest part, all the timelines that we each individually share on the various frequency levels of that spiral, as it tightens up, those of us that are on that same timeline, those of us that are in that same vibration, we have the same messages coming forth. Our timelines are merging. Our thoughts, our understanding, our awareness is slipping into that oneness that we truly share. Does that make sense? It is so cool. It is really cool. And there's so many of us doing that. And then there's also like little stars bumping in together and ricocheting off each other and then going into other timelines. And this star might come into my timeline because of a vibration for a certain period of time. This entity, individual, human being, spirit and incarnation comes into my timeline for a little while, hits and then bumps off and goes and joins another timeline. It hits and bumps off and goes and joins another timeline. And sometimes we stick and form a larger tornado as we're spiraling in towards that center point. And sometimes we're like two galaxies, two universes colliding. And we expand each other's consciousness and awareness, and then we go off into another creation with some other universe, some other spirit and incarnation. And the whole thing is just so cool. It really is. How do you express to someone how this light, how the synchronicities, how the magnetism, how the law of attraction works to someone who is not yet quite aware of it? But for those of us who are aware, it's one of the most incredibly magical, beautiful things in all of creation. We are seeing God in action. We are seeing Creator God's walking around, manifesting creation jointly with each and every one of us. And we're witnessing it as we're coming into that center point of the spiral. We're witnessing how we are mutually creating this whole new paradigm that we are going into, and how we are breaking down the old paradigm, the old the rituals, and taking it into the spirituals. Anyway, we're coming up on the end of this video, and it's just so interesting how that works, how the synchronicities work, how the law of attraction and magnetics work. Pay attention. It's a most beautiful thing. Anyway, that's enough for now. Love you guys. Bye for now.